Thank you so much, bro. Here.
Come take a seat in here.
Everybody, usually I hire HUDI, today he hired me. Just saying, even when Mitzrayim brought down that also they would get together Friday night, it says, talk Emunah, talk B'tachon. Yeah, it was tough. It was Mitzrayim. It was claustrophobic. They didn't lose it. Half a week ago, I was on the phone with Yehuda, talking about a different event and another event. We're doing Baruch Hashem a gorgeous job. He's not a zamer, he's a mazamer. And he said, what's happening with Ukraine? Yidden are suffering. There's Milchama. We have to do something. Everyone says we have to do something. Who actually does something? Few and far in between that actually do. And I was thinking about this event and the uniqueness of it. I'll tell you what it is. In World War II, I would say American Jewry fell short in a certain way. That was indifference. Yeah, obviously there was Valatzola, right? Ron Kamenovich, Ryan Kotler, Blazer Silver. It was a big to do, and Ishtadlus that went into saving so much Yiddishkeit, so much Eden. But especially from the Eden that were a little bit further away from Torah mitzvahs, there was a certain indifference. And when this war started in Ukraine, we're used to wars in Eretz Yisrael. It was again in the same place, the same Ukraine, the same Lvov, and the same Kiev, and all the places that we, Premishlan, all the places that we, for us, are Shemus Kedoshim. Eden again were on the run, just the same as not too long ago. The question I asked myself was, how are we reacting to it? What are we doing about it? And are we going to fall short, or are we going to excel? Are we going to show the Rabban Shalom that we're not forgetting that we're also involved? I think that's everyone coming together. Some people have things to do with the Shabbos. There's preparations. Everyone has what to do. But people came together not for a concert. People came together. Yidden came together to sing, to daven. We know that Negina, the Nisim Shalom explains, comes from the depths of your soul, from your very essence. That's what Negina is. It's not just jumping up and down. It's not notes that come out of your mouth. It's your neshama. And for some, and I would say for most people, if not for all people, Negina has a koyach hasoros. We're not just coming here to party. We're coming here to connect. To connect to ourselves, to connect to the Rebbeinu Shalom, and to connect to Yidden, we're really part of one body that are even across the ocean. So Alavai, that the schus of Yidden coming together tonight, and the Negina and the Soirus, we should be poiled. That very soon, we shouldn't just be Azam Rebegolas, we should be Mizma Shechanukas Habayas, be as Goel Tzedek. We should come together for the Simcha Banachas. Shekoyach HUDI, Shekoyach to Mendel, Joy.
All normal? Any song requests? What's wrong here? Hey, we're just taking song requests. Once we're getting ready.
The news station's out of it. No, that's press. We're here to show. We're here to show the bunch of we're happy. You know why? Not because we know it's going to be, but we're happy because no matter what happening, we have you. That's what we're happy for. I want to share with everyone perspective. 2 months ago, my sister was in a very bad accident. I'm sure you heard it in Long Island, Woodmere. The driver of the car was my sister. She Baruch Hashem, I visited her on Shabbos. She gave me a piece of Google. It's a big problem. She's home. She's progressing there and hard. But I want to tell you something. When everything happened, just for the record, they pulled her out without a heartbeat, without a pulse. She was officially not here. 3 days later, there was first of all, Sunday, people started davening. There was hundreds and thousands of people, and right away you saw a shift. There was a kumzitz. People came together also to sing, to talk to the Rabban Shalom, but there Shir, Malach Biderman says, explain why we sing by Gam Naroyim. What's it? Nusach. Malachim get scared when Yidden daven, because we're so strong. We have to realize who we are, Yidden, Bnei Yisrael, Bnei Hashem. So we sing it, and now they stop singing. They let it go up. But anyway, we came together, and then we said Tillim, and we said Nishmas, and people were very sad. Very, the matzah wasn't good. It was very scary. It was shifting from... Eli Levin was playing over there, and I told him, Eli, we gotta up the mood. People are depressed, not good. We started singing Plevahodes Lashem, Velazam Lashem Erlin, Shlomo Kalbach's version. Erlin got up, the Erlin danced. We were Mesameach with the Rabbeinu Shalom, not because of a Yeshua, but because we have him no matter what. And having the Rabbeinu Shalom is a Yeshua in and of itself. I'm not exaggerating. 15 hours later, my sister was extubated. Beyond any expectation. Don't undermine the koyach of a yid, the koyach of emunah, the koyach of bitachon, the koyach of simcha. That's a voice say, give it your all. The mission will see Yeshua's.
Thank you so much. We want to thank you for coming. Anyone has friends who are still on the way, tell them we officially started. Doors open at 8:30, more or less. And now we have to opening the door to the building is relatively easy. Opening the door to the heart is a lot harder. So if everyone could just, one of the quickest ways to do that is by silencing the phones, maybe turning the phones off completely. And that's one way to open the doors to the heart. And through the nigunim and through the stories, it's the next way. So hopefully by the end of the evening we'll be in Yerushalayim, which I'd like to introduce Mendel Kugel here on the left on the violin. Thank you for coming. Noah Solomon coming. I pulled him away from another gig. I appreciate it. ושכחנו אצל ידיך דבר חורסייך. We're gonna have one more little waiting. We're gonna be joined for a minute remotely. Unfortunately, we can't do it in person with Rabbi Blech from Ukraine, who's currently in New York, in Muncie, also New York. So had a little bit more meaning. What's going on? Anybody have any song requests? I need the Dodi. Nice, good. Just time for L. Is the rabbi ready or? Okay, fine. He doesn't need to, I'm gonna get one anyway. Anyway, you play any other? Let's take it away.
אני לדודי, אני לדודי, ודודי לי הרואה בשושנים. אני לדודי, אני לדודי, ודודי לי הרואה השושנים. אני לדודי, אני לדודי, ודודי לי הרואה בשושנים. 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 אוי, אני לדודי, אני לדודי, ודודי לי הרואה בשושנים. אני לדודי, אני לדודי, ודודי לי הרואה בשושנים. Please join me. אני לדודי, אני לדודי, ודודי לי הרואה בשושנים.
No. First time. I saw him on WhatsApp. My friend did.
Thank you so much.
Huh? He's great now. No son.
First, we have a
He's from
privilege to
Soul
have
Farm.
YAAKOV, Chief Rabbi of Ukraine, who's calling in the middle of literally saving lives, getting people out. We're working through Shabbos. Bosses, people are trying, mamash fighting for their lives. And obviously, everyone's open their hearts, pockets, whatever anyone's able to help for the Hatzalah. We're helping to Makabetz Mitchei Yisrael, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Makabetz us also very soon. Rabbi Blyce, Makabetz, good to know.
And thank you so much for calling me and allowing me to speak this Chosh Be'elam that came together to be Mechazik and his Chazik. I can only tell you a few things that I think some of the things that are giving me Chazik to be able to make it through these terrible and difficult days. First thing I want everybody to understand that from the days of World War II, there was a matzah that you had such a tremendous kehillah of Klal Yisrael, 360,000 Yidden living in Ukraine that are under sakona. Unfortunately, Putin announced, and today again, I'm saying before he said it, but now he announced it, that if the Ukrainians don't give in, he's going to wipe out the whole country of Ukraine, that the country will no longer exist, which is an open threat, and he already began it in a city like Kharkov. There's 40,000 Yidden living, and they're just dropping bombs and killing civilians. The same thing is going on in all the towns around Kiev, Irpin, Bucha, Vorzel. I got calls, mamish, unbelievable earth-shattering things that make you crazy just to think about what's going on and how a thing like this can happen in our day. Baruch Hashem, that we're very lucky that we're able to get out thousands of Eden. I'm not only me, I'm talking about everybody and anybody that's working on evacuating. We got out really thousands of Eden from cities that are under fire. But today, just Shabbos morning, something went out that they're evacuating Eden from Mariupol, and whatever happened, I don't know who exactly, but somebody went and burned all the buses that they were supposed to take Eden out of. 5 buses got burned. You have to understand this is an attack. It's an attack not against this person, that person. It's just an attack totally to get people out. However, there's always sunshine in the middle. So today, Baruch Hashem, there was a newborn child that was born 3 days ago, and this child had to be evacuated. So this morning, very early in the morning, I got a message if I'm able to help someone with make a payment in Ukraine. And Baruch Hashem, we made a payment. It was a very, very large payment to pay for an ambulance to evacuate a newborn child. I didn't understand at that point what was going on. I was just doing a favor to the people that asked me. So I made a payment, which is a very, very big payment. And it's like a Ukrainian quick pay. They have something very similar to quick pay there. And I made the payment for the guy, and then they took the ambulance. Then I asked them, where's this ambulance going? What's happening? They told me the ambulance is going from Odessa and has to pick up a newborn baby in Kiev and take the baby over to the border of Moldova. You're talking about a whole mamash, a big trip. Okay, I was very happy. 2 hours later, I get a call. They say that the ambulance started coming to pick up the baby, but they have no way to get the baby out of the city of Kiev. And the ambulance said, "B'shum if I'm not going into the city of Kiev because it's too dangerous. So if we don't have someone to bring out the baby, it's going to be a problem." So I said, "Okay." I said, I have a van right now in front of my shul evacuating, and there's a family there, there's a woman that I know I can trust and everything else. So we're going to go pick up the doctor that's holding the baby and we'll take the baby out. A half hour later, so first the driver from the van that was taking them said he's not going anywhere until he has his military escort. So I had to arrange for a military escort. He goes to the apartment. I get a call a half hour later. The lady calls me. She says, "Rabbi Blythe, I thought the doctor's coming along with the baby. They threw the baby into my arms, closed the doors and said go." She was safety with her family, but Baruch Hashem, 3 hours later, she gave over the baby into the ambulance. And Motzei Shabbos, after I made Abdullah, they were idea me that Baruch Hashem, the baby got to the border and was being flown to Eretz Yisrael by a special plane for Bichra Abdullah. You see, in all of these things, I was thinking to myself that went into every single step of the way. So that this child, I don't know who this child is, that's not going to be easy for me to do it. So this child should survive everything bombing around and everything else. And somebody called me today about a child, a mother that just gave birth to a child in a maternity hospital in Vorzel. A a place that's totally occupied by the Russians. They put tanks inside the yard of the hospital so that nobody should shoot at the tanks, because if they shoot at the tanks, they're gonna blow the hospital up also. The guy called me, says he's trying to get his wife out with the baby out of it. He has no idea what I can do, how I can help him. Even though we're in touch with people from the army to do such evacuations, dangerous evacuations, we do have people that do it. But still, a thing like this is like almost impossible, you know, to do a thing like this. And Baruch Hashem, that Klal Yisrael is answering the call in a way that we should be able to be proud of ourselves as Eden. That Baruch Hashem, we're able to stick up for one another, save one another, go out there and feel that arvus that we have as Eden to one another. It's a tremendous, tremendous chesed for everybody. B'frat, we're dealing with a month of Adar, where everybody has to be happy. How we mesamech people when they lost everything they had. I was just on the phone right before this call, a family that came out of Ukraine with 5 kids. They don't have anything but the clothes on their backs. They were wearing those clothing. Somebody paid for them to stay in the hotel in Bar Park until Sunday. And one of the relatives called me and said, Rabbi Bleich, they must move out tomorrow afternoon and they have nowhere to go. So I told him, Adar, we would have to try and find an apartment. Somebody's going to take them in. They talk about they're trying to rebuild their lives, but they have nothing. I asked the lady, I said, let's make a cheshbon right now. How much money do we need? She said, we have to pay for the tickets that we brought them out. You have to pay for the bus that they were back with. This, that, they have $50,000. She said, listen, we're going to try and do something to help them. You have to understand, even though this is already beyond the border, and I was Makabala myself, that I'm going to try and help the people while they're in the border. But I told her that this is going to have to be a separate thing. We'll try and raise money to help a thing like this. Talking about the opportunities for tzedakah, to save people's lives, to help them rebuild their lives, to help them feel like they're a part of Klal Yisrael, is something that I don't know when Klal Yisrael had these opportunities in the past after World War II, and I hope that we'll never ever have to come on to these things again. Maybe we should see how we as Eden care for one another. We are all his children, and when it says, the Zohar Kodesh says, when the Rebbeinu Shalom sees Eden doing chesed one with another, it's ma'orer rachmim of the Rebbeinu Shalom on the children, because like every father loves when his children do chesed with one another and help each other, gives the father a good feeling. So too, Kaviyachol, the Rebbeinu Shalom, when he sees Klal Yisrael doing chesed with one another, it's ma'orer rachmim, and that rachmim should be ma'orer taka the gula shleimer, that we should taka b'zoicha to the Bias Goel Tzedek, and there should be no more war, and no more fights, and no more pain, and no more death, and we should be zoicha to go and greet Mashiach Tzedkenu with the emes simcha. The simcha that we're waiting for, B'binyan Beis HaMikdash, B'meir B'yameinu, Spasiba Zavnemanya, Nagutav.
We're going to say a capital Tilim, followed by a Chenu. Shira Ma'alois, Mimamakim, Kirosicha Adonai, Shimo V'koili, Tienoz Necho Kashuvois, Lekol Tachanunoi. Im Aboinoi, Tishmoyo, Adonai, Miyamoy. Ki Mechos Licho, Leman Tivorei. Ki Visi Adonai, Ki Viso Nafshi, Velidvoroi Echolti. Nafshi Ladoinoi, Mishoimrim Laboiker, Shoimrim Laboiker. Yacher Yisrael El Adoinoi, Kim Adoinoi Yachesed Arbei Moifedos. Vehu Yifdes Yisrael Mikol Avoinoi So. Acheinu kol beis Yisrael anesunim batzaro v'ashivyo oimdim bein bayom ubein bayabosho hamokoi mirachem aleihem v'yoytziei mitzaro lirvocho me'afelo li'oiro u'mishibud le'geulo hashto bagolo v'zman koriv v'neimar omein. Yeah.
I want to mention the site that people can go to donate. It's
Is
charity with a D.com/Ukraine.
Charity/Ukraine.
Yeah.
Charity.com/Ukraine.
Yeah.
One, two. So I was trying to, I was coming up with the songs for tonight, that we want to sing together. First of all, just to remember that every song is a tefillah. Every niggin is a way of connecting to ourselves, connecting to Rebbeinu Shalom, connecting to what's going on in the world. And I was thinking songs that remind us that whatever's going on in the world, to remember that there's someone running the show, even if we can't see it. So just keep that in mind as well.
Trump is a clown. I voted for Trump.
B'shirei uzecha Al yidei David Al yidei David Mashiach tzidkecha Sirena Malchusecha Yevabeinenu Sirena Malchusecha Yevabeinenu Sirena Malchusecha Sirena Malchusecha Moy blocking this driveway to my right, it's the neighbor's driveway, so please, even though it's part of Sirena Malchusecha, it's part of the kingdom, it's someone's individual domain and they might be a little bothered, so if someone's blocking the driveway to my right, when you're facing the building to the left, please to move the car if possible. Take it away, man. Big love, big love, big love, love boys, big love, big love, love boys, big love boys, they see I'm holding. Big love, love boys, big love boys, big love boys, they see I'm holding. Like so you get your love, like a day, it's so easy.
someone has a black Honda in that driveway, it's about to get towed.
Thank you, Anger Stell. Thank you. Available for motivation? Yeah?
That's why I'm here.
That's for motivation. There's a D minor. D minor? Yeah. You like it? Done. Everything works out at the end. If it didn't work out, it's not the end. Thank you. How's the trade? What's the shop? This is called a gilele. Not to be confused with a ukulele. Because it's a gilele because there's 6 strings. And it's tuned D to D. So it's keeping score at home. On the crash.
No, I know OZ, by 95th. Right back. Well, I
In the middle of that song, I reminded of a story everyone here knows. If you didn't, never heard of him, pretend you heard. The Heilige is at the Chover. Hershel is at the Chover, Mamish. I get such unholy lips, unholy lips, other such holy names. The Heilige rubs out. Anyway, So one time, unfortunately, one of his grandchildren was mamash sick, was pachad neira, and they all kept telling him, tell the Zayda to say Tehillim, tell the Zayda to daven. It just wasn't going. There was one of his grandchildren, it became later Beryl, but Beryl knew, his little boy, Beryl. And this Beryl, by the Pesach Seder, before he would go to say Manashtana, he would go to the mikveh. His mother would say, where are you going? We're disappearing, it's chutzpah. He said, no, I have to go. Before you say Manashtana by the Behet Gezid Sheva, you have to say, let's go to the mikveh. Anyway, so he goes, knocks on the door by his Zayda in the study, and he says, I have to tell you the greatest news. He says, what's the news? He says, our cousin, YAAKOV, his mom is doing better. But maybe he can still daven a little bit, it will still be helpful. And after he said that with so much joy, then Hershel Zedasher was able to daven, and Baruch Hashem got better. So even when it's a real test, when there's stuff going on like this, we have to somehow be happy the whole time, even though we're mamash broken and sad inside. On some level, we still have to be happy, because that's what brings the biggest issue in the world. Mo yizbora shimcha befi kol chai tomi tomi yoylam 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 Obviously, hundreds of stories going through my head, and my mother was so kind. She saved me a few weeks ago for the newspaper story. So, in honor of my parents being here, I'll share that story. We live in a world, besides what's going on nowadays, where it's so easy to forget. We get lost in the race. There's business, there's work, there's family obligations, there's so much to do. And it's very hard to remember, sometimes how to tap in. Thank you, Gatorade, and all the sponsors. And, there's the Gemara, actually, let's go back 1,800 years. Everybody here heard of Abaya and Rava? I went to school with them. Good guys. And basically, one time they were sitting with Rabba, not Rabba Baruch, meaning someone else, someone big, and they were eating together. They were very young, and it wasn't Rabba Baruch, Rabba Bar Masna. And he said, it was about the bench, and they said, who are you benching to? And they said, the Rebbeinu Shalom, God. So he said, where's God? So Rava right away pointed up. He said, Eibishter, Hashem's here. Abaya, didn't want to be outdone. Abaya went outside. He pointed to the sky. Said, Hashem is there. Rabbi Masna said, you're both going to be, Gedolei Yisrael, you're both going to be Rosh Yeshiva and teach, thousands and thousands of Klal Yisrael. So I was thinking, what is the meaning of the story? Obviously, I don't know. But it hit me, recently. There's times in life when we can't get out of the room we're in. All we could see, where's God? He's here. I was thinking all these people, Nebuch, Yidden, non-Jews, everyone, the whole world, all these people stuck in these bunkers in Kiev, in Ukraine, in all the little cities in the Shtetelach. And they can't go outside and say, there's God, because when they go outside and they point up, the sky is flashing, there's bombs falling, there's missiles flying. You can't say there's God, because God's, where's he to be found? Unfortunately, we don't know. It's hard to see the Hashem. But in the bunker, when they're together and people are praying together, davening together, spending time together there, we can look up and look at the sky and say, here's God. And there's Baruch Hashem, there's times we can go outside, we can look at the world and say, Ma Rabu Masach Hashem, how beautiful is the world. and we could go outside and we could, look up. So the story that was in the newspaper a few weeks ago, there was a Yid, I think his name was Hillel. His name was for sure Hillel, but I think Rothschild was his last name, I don't remember. Reb Hillel, and he was a Ger Chassid, and he was unfortunately in the ghetto, in the camps, and thank God he survived. He came to America, and at one time the Pnei Menachem, one of the Rebbe's of Ger, a big tzaddik, was coming to visit America from Eretz Yisrael, and this Reb Hillel wanted to go see the Rosh Yeshiva, the Rebbe. He goes to him and he prepares, obviously, and he says to Pnei Menachem, he says, I have a question to ask the Rosh Yeshiva, of course. There's a Sfas Emes. I was learning the Sfas Emes in the ghetto, in the bunker, with my friends, and there's something I didn't understand. Can you please explain it to me? So Pnei Menachem said, absolutely, but I need you to come back, please, in 1 hour. So the Yid was, of course, he said, of course, another opportunity to go see the Pnei Menachem, the tzaddik. An hour later, he comes back to Pnei Menachem, he learns it together inside, he explains it to them beautifully. And he says, I want to tell you something. He says, don't think for 1 second that I didn't know how to explain it to you right away. But I was so overcome by emotion that he told me we were learning the Sfas Emes in the ghetto, in the bunker, that I couldn't, for an hour, I couldn't come to. I was mamash beside myself with emotion. So, I was thinking this is one of those moments when we could, when the Bnei Menachem came to America, you look up, we could point to the sky and say, okay, now, there's God. But in those moments when the boy was learning the Sfas Emes in the bunker, where was God to be found, mamash, only in that Dalai Lamas. So, we have to just remember, we can find him wherever we are. Here we? All right, figure it out.
thing. So I'm shepping huge nachas. I think I gave you your first mandolin lesson, one mandolin
first
lesson,
and only.
about maybe like 14 years ago. Still. But that was about like when he was a teenager. Maybe we were like 14, 15. Before the beard, anyway. Yeah, okay. About 10 years ago, I gave him his first mandolin lesson. Listen.
All right, mandolin lesson. Anyone not here of Abdullah, by the way? I usually ask at the beginning. I know Shabbos was over about 4 hours ago. Anybody didn't have the Dobby Basham? We can still do it, never too late. Just making sure. Can we do Kiddush for next Friday night? Shlomo always said that the whole week is Chol Hamoed Shabbos, so that's it. Okay. There's some seltzer and beer on the back, some tequila to my left, and some items for sale on the back. Please support the Matzah in Ukraine. Please support the shul. Please support the musicians. L'chaim. Dedicate a song to my father. Taught me most of the good. Any nigga I sing that sounds good, I learn from him. Any nigga I sing that doesn't sound good, I didn't learn from him. That's the bottom line. From the oldies. Mendel has a request. He wants to wake us up a little bit. There's a black Honda that's about to be towed. A black Honda that's about to be towed to my right. To my right, there's a black Honda that's about to be towed. Don't lose your black Honda.
I don't mean anything.
Or whatever color it is.
I don't have anything
Once again, ready for the upcoming holiday. 6 weeks from tonight, 8 o'clock. 6 weeks from tonight is the second Seder. 6 weeks from tonight. Hey, you want an another one?
Israel, second Seder for me.
Or the first night of Halloween.
First night of Halloween.
Second Saturday night. More shop this morning. No one else? That was just a sound check. The main program will begin in about 5 minutes. Bear with us. Let's do one more. So everybody knows that, how we do with time? We have like 1 a.m., 2 a.m.? Everybody knows that the...
6 in the morning.
I think about this a lot, because everyone, it's not a joke, but it's serious, but everyone says Kippurim, Purim, Kippurim, and no one ever really explains what that means. You have a feast, you don't have a feast, it's higher than Yom Kippur. What is higher than Yom Kippur? What is Yom Kippur? Who's higher in Yom Kippur, and then what's higher in Purim? I never really understood it. You're not really supposed to be higher in Yom Kippur, so whatever, it's a different story. Fine, anyway, l'chaim. So, you're supposed to be high, but you know, like, how you get there is tricky, especially by an Eli, but at the end of the day, you know, fine. We're not going to see Lord might get me high. Anyway, so, I always think about the comparisons between Yom Kippur and Purim. And, Yom Kippur we ask for forgiveness, and Purim there's no real asking for forgiveness. You know, before the New Year, and Yom Kippur we ask people for forgiveness. And I realize one of the things that Purim comes to fix is the whole year we're always like, oh, we'll get together, I'll see you, we'll get together, we'll grab coffee, we'll get lunch, or whatever, we'll bring together, whatever. It never happens. And, or if it happens, it's not as good as we think it's going to be. And that's part of the tshuva of Purim. We're now in a Seres Tshuva till Purim, and or almost a Seres Tshuva. If you count the Purim, I think it's a Seres Tshuva. But anyway, Rosh Adar already was. So, Purim is in about 10 plus days, 11 days. So 10 plus 1, you know, gematrias. So, and I always think, what's the tshuva of Purim? One of the tshuvas of Purim is Lechanesh Kol Yehudim. When I spoke to the rabbi about making the event there, he said we should put that on the sign. We should gather together. And that's one of the tshuvas we're coming to do on Purim. We get together, and we can access on Purim, and as we get ready for Purim, some of the awe and the energy of the Yom Norayim, which, if you really think about it, Nora is awesome. Awe is. Or it's days of awe, but awesome means awesome. And Nora means when you connect with someone on such a deep level
that looks like the rabbi.
That you would never do something that would get in the way of them. It's not I'm scared of you.
I don't know.
It's I love you so much that I would never dare cross the boundary. So we'll sing a little bit from the Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur davening together. We'll sing Melech and E minor. And then we'll sing some Purim songs, but this is also a Purim song. Lo b'voich hakol ha'olam kulai b'yir yichodecha v'may v'yasei al kol ha'orei Shout out to Moshe Wolf for putting us in the Fire Night Spirit, Fire Nights. Moshe Wolf, how are you? Yom Narayim. It's tequila in the front.
We want more. 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 We want more.
For all those our Gestal will be performing the KEHILAS ceremony for 8 days of Pesach. Where are you performing this year, the KEHILAS ceremony?
You gotta come to Bordeaux Hotel.
Bordeaux. Pesach with Bordeaux, wherever that is, in the Poconos. Where is that?
Tarrytown.
Tarrytown.
It's going to be a good time, judging by tonight.
All right, now let's sing a little bit together. Another thing, speaking of Purim and Yom Kippur, you know, if I can have your attention for like, I don't know, 10 seconds and then like 5 more minutes after that. Everybody knows that on Yom Kippur there's Achet. In the center we say Hashamnu, Baganu, Achet. We ask God for forgiveness.
You can look it up online.
Give her a sample. Go up, go up, go up, go up, go up.
We ask the Rebbeinu Shalom for forgiveness in order of the Aleph phase. You know, we mamash come to God begging, pleading for a new year, for our loved ones, for ourselves.
The whole Pesach?
It's very deep. And then on Purim, where's the Achet? Where's the thing? And I always think that there's so many things. You know, the Siddur is beautiful, and it's, you know, if you have the article, it's 900 pages. If you have like the old school, it's like 150 pages with a tiny print. But whatever, it's a lot of pages to say, and we say a lot of things, and it's very nice. But inside our hearts and our minds, we have so many things we want to ask God, we want to tell God face to face, directly, and we don't even have the chutzpah in Yom Kippur to tell him these things. So comes Purim, we drink Adar Yada, and then it's a time, in the morning, during the Suda, sometime at the end of the day, you love Purim. We managed to start talking to God, we tell him all the things we couldn't tell him the whole year, from Rosh Hashanah, from Slichas until Purim. now that it's Adar already on the space, everyone maybe close their eyes. I'm sure there's no one in this room besides for the matzav going on in Ukraine. I'm sure there's no one in this room who doesn't know anybody in this room with someone who doesn't need a shidduch, someone who doesn't need healthy children, someone who doesn't have problems at home, with whatever it is, any small thing, any big thing. Everyone please daven for yourselves, for your friends together. Sing a song without words.
To get someone else, if you're interested. I feel like you read it and then
God, if you are so almighty, if you are so holy, God, if you are so loving, God, as you said, if you want peace in the world, but were you when the Eden got expelled from Gushkati? Where are you when the rockets flying in there to Israel? Where are you when there are people hiding in bunkers in Ukraine? Where are you on Rishon and 51 the world? Where are you when houses are broken? Where are you when hearts are destroyed? We have no answer, there's one thing we know. It's the Kaliatza, so to be joined the Holy Land. Maybe so sign the Idachon, and it's just no city. Put me and Mashiach will come and he'll spread forth the dove of the light that Mamish never went out will shine again. And then you shine Mashiach. And there'll be a Piskim Pen, there'll be YAAKOV and there'll be Mamish. Those who yearning for the Vahish will have what to say. And for that day all we have to do is sing. Oh, you see יהילנו לכל ישראל. יהילנו לכל ישראל. Thank you so much for Chodesh. Thank you so much everyone who came. Have a good week, good month, good year. Pesach Purim, Kosher Pesach. And we'll see you all good Shabbat at the coming Pesach. And the Beis HaMikdash Mikdash. Thank you so much. Thank you Rabbi Pitsky for hosting the MORESHES YAAKOV. Yes, MORESHES YAAKOV. And thank you to Salman. Thank you, L'chaim.
My French
Don't go. Give me your telephone number.
I have his phone number. I will call him if I have something.
Mama,
I will call him if I
wait,
have
Mitzvah, don't go.
No, I have his phone number. I will call him if I have.
No, give me your telephone number.
Thank you so much. I recommend it. Running back and forth. There was that one thing from us, by the way. Baruch